Hi there, everybody. It's Dr. Turnquest Roll there again, ready to speak to you today about adding two-digit numbers. Are you ready to see what it means to add two-digit numbers? I sure hope so, because here we go. Are you up for these learning goals? Well, by the end of this video, you should be able to relate place value or tens and ones to two-digit numbers. You should also be able to draw a picture to solve an addition equation. Finally, you should be able to perform a step-by-step process to solving two-digit addition equations. I sure hope you're up for this learning challenge because here we go. Here's something for you to think about. Sarah got 26 cards this Christmas. She got another 12 cards last Christmas. How many cards does she have altogether? Well, I need you to think of these things as you ponder what I'm about to read again. What do you think Sarah has to do to find out how many cards she has altogether? Will she add or will she subtract? What has helped you to decide what she should do? I'm going to give you a minute to consider these things. Will Sarah add or subtract to find out how many cards she received altogether? Well, I'm back. Have you considered what Sarah would do? Do you remember what you should do to help you to solve a problem? The first thing we do is circle the numbers. The next thing we do is search for and then underline the keywords. In this case, our keywords are found in the last sentence, which reads, how many cards does she have altogether? The keywords here for us to ponder on are how many altogether. If you remember correctly, addition keywords include the word altogether. So that means we will use a plus sign to help us to perform this equation. And that means then that we will add. So today we're going to learn how to add two-digit numbers. Two-digit numbers are numbers that have two visible place values, ones and tens. Let's move forward so you can understand this concept a bit more. When you add, the group gets bigger. When we add, we use a plus sign. Do you remember what the plus sign looks like? We also should remember that adding means to count the entire group all together. In this case, we see one soccer ball and we see two soccer balls. In order to add, we have to count the soccer balls all together. In this case, there are 1, 2, 3 soccer balls. So our sum then would be 3. Did you get that? Well, you just performed the operation of addition. Adding two-digit numbers is a little different. A two-digit number has a representation of two place values, the ones and the tens. When adding two-digit numbers, we have to consider that ones and tens exist. We are then expected to focus on each area of place value separately to find the sum. What do I mean by this? Well, when adding two-digit numbers, you always start with the ones first, and then you move over to the tens. Here are 4 steps for you to consider when adding two-digit numbers. First, you decide which groups you are adding. Second, add the ones. Third, add the tens. Fourth, present the sum. Do you remember when I told you I just love to sing? Well, I certainly do, and I have a song for this one as well. When adding two-digit numbers, always add the ones first. Always add the ones first, and then the tens, and then the tens. When adding two-digit numbers, always add the ones first. Always add the ones first, and then the tens, and then the tens. Although we are not regrouping, it is important for us to remember to always start here. This area here is the ones area. Then we move over to the tens area to add. Let's look a little deeper into this concept. If we look at 37 plus 52, there is something to consider, and I'd like for us to consider this together. Please put on your big spy eyes and your very good listening ears as we go through this one together. In this addition problem or equation, there are 2 represented place values, the ones and the tens. Do you remember my little song? Well, that song tells you where to begin. Do you remember where it said we should start? If you said the ones, you are one smarty pants, and you should give yourself a big juicy kiss because you are absolutely correct. Let's look a bit closer at this. When we look a bit deeper into this equation, we understand that we're adding 37 plus 52. When we place the numbers into their place values, we understand from the suggestion of our song that we always add the ones first. In this case, that means we are adding 7 plus 2. 7 plus 2. We understand that when we add, we have to count the groups all together to find the sum. So super counters, are you ready? Well, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our first sum here then is 9. We add the ones first and then the tens. When we look at the tens, we see that we're adding 3 plus 5. 3 plus 5. We also understand that when we add, we have to count the groups together to find the sum. So super counters, are you ready? Well, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in this case, our sum is 8. Did you get it? Well, I sure hope so, because we're going to put it to the test. Let's try this one. Can you remember the places that we put these numbers in? If you said ones and tens, you're absolutely correct. Can you draw from your memory bank and remember which ones or which place value or which numbers we add first? If you said the ones, you are one smarty pants, and you are absolutely right. We always add the ones first and then the tens. Do you remember the song? When adding two-digit numbers, always add the ones first. Always add the ones first, and then the tens, and then the tens. So let's do it together. Here we go trying it together. Did you remember our little song that suggests we should start here with the ones? So that means we're adding 1 plus 5. 1 plus 5. Addition means that we count the group all together to find the sum. So super counters, are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our sum here is 6. After we add the ones, we have to move to the tens. So that means we're going to add 4 plus 3. 4 plus 3. Addition means that we count the groups all together to find the sum. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our sum here is 7, of course. This means then that 41 plus 35 equals a sum of 76. Please open your memory bank and lock that in, because here's where you get to try it on your own. Please remember to think about the song that I sang to you that tells you which to start first. You're going to have 3 minutes to go through these sums with someone that's at home with you and would like to assist you. Grab a pen or pencil and a paper and get it done. Your time starts now. Well, there goes your time. Were you able to answer them all? I sure hope so. Pay close attention as we work through the solutions to these equations together. Are you ready? Well then, let's go. Let's consider the answers to the equations that you just tried on your own. Do you remember that our song said, always add the ones first and then the tens? Did you notice the little star that indicates that this is where we're to begin? Well, we know that this here is easy peasy lemon squeezy because we know that any number plus 0 is the same number. So the sum here is 5. Now let's count on to find this sum. 2, 3, 4. So we found that 25 plus 20 equals 45. Let's move on to the next one. Do you remember where we are to begin? If you said at the ones, you are one smart cookie, and you should give yourself a pat on each shoulder. Do you remember that little rule that I just said? Any number plus 0 is the same number. So that means our sum here is 8. Then we're going to use the count on method here. 4, 5, 6. So the sum here is 6. That means then 48 plus 20 equals 68. Do you remember where to begin here? If you said add the ones place, give yourself a big juicy kiss because you're absolutely right. We're going to use the count on method. Are you ready, super counters? 4, 5. So the sum here is 5, of course. Then we go to the tens. Very good. 4, 5, 6, 7. So our sum here is 7. That means then 44 plus 31 equals 75. When adding two-digit numbers, always add the ones first. Always add the ones first. And then the tens. And then the tens. 5, 6, 7. And now the tens. 4, 5, 6, 7. That means then 45 plus 32 equals 77. Did you get them right? I sure hope so. Can you remember the steps that we took to adding two-digit numbers? Our little song suggested that we always add the ones first and then the tens. That means we would start here with the ones. 6 plus 2 equals 8. Then we'd end here with the tens. 3 plus 1 equals 4. That means the sum of 36 plus 12 is 48. How did we get to this answer? We followed 4 easy steps. First, decide which groups you are adding. Second, add the ones. Third, add the tens. Fourth, present the sum. You were one group of smart cookies today. Well, I've sure had a good time with you today, and I enjoyed working with you to add two-digit numbers. Well, I hope your memory bank was open today, and I hope you sure secured these tips in them. Don't forget to ask your parents or whoever is at home working with you to navigate you to the worksheets where you will practice what you learned here today. I'll see you soon, smart cookies. Bye-bye.